guys. It's David with Land Clear. Oh. Gonna be a little ditch right here. I wonder if I should turn that off. Alright, we're getting this property done out here. This like pathway back here that's, I don't know, pretty small. Kind of like that tree there. I think we're just going to mulch it down. Mulched. Woo. That's always fun. We'll try and make our way down to the back and then work our way towards the front of the property. That was the plan. Maybe this would be a good time to talk about the machine. Brushworks out of Cincinnati. They did a review on some machines earlier this year. I really liked what those guys did. And this machine was the one they recommended, the Takeuchi TL11, because several things. First, the price is hard to beat this. They're running about, I don't know, $115,000 for the machine, and it is already set. It's got the demo glass, is what they call it. The door here is made of thick, whatever, Lexan, or it's not glass. The TL12 is their largest machine that's compact track loader. The 11 was made, it's a new model. The 11 was made for attachments, very attachment focused machine. And it nearly has the same horsepower. You guys gotta go look it up if you're interested. Nearly has the same horsepower as a TL12. And nearly the same gallons per minute, the flow, for the high flow, to spin this mulcher. So one difference between the 11 and 12 is the weight. The 12 is a heavier machine, which, tossing around a 3,000 pound mulching head can make a little difference. Now, I've never used the 12 before, so I can't quite say that it would really matter to me, since now I'm used to this. So I'm going to give you numbers that I can remember, and again, that's interesting. Come on, get it out there, buddy. a smell like burn. Anyway, so the numbers I got, I went to Bobcat, I went to Caterpillar. I think Cat's got a good machine. I think Bobcat's got probably a good machine too. And I think if you're going to start out doing this, I think Brushworks had some great. They have a video just recently talking about why they bought a new truck. And part of why they bought new, they talked about one of their Bobcats, or one of their other machines, whatever, it didn't really matter which brand it was. It was used, might have been their first machine, and it was used, and they had to rebuild the motor. And I don't know how long that takes, but it's too long. One day is too long. So there's game plan, buy new is what we did. I don't have time for downtime. I choose to minimize the probability of downtime. And the Talks probably have the best track record for reliability. And it's a Japanese company, and you know, Toyota and Lexus, and I mean, I know they all got their problems, but they're definitely very good engineered machines, very well engineered. And one thing about Toyota is they just stay old school forever. They don't get all crazy with touch screens. They're slow to adopt technology. Now, that doesn't mean their engineering is old school. It means when they still have buttons, like physical buttons they put in their cars and trucks. It's not a full-on, well, maybe the new ones, but they had buttons in their machine, in their cars for such a long time because it works. The Car Care Nut, he's a YouTuber, and he's got all sorts of reviews and information about Toyota and Lexus. So he talks about that. And that's where it's at with the Talks. There's nothing real fancy about them. They do what works. And when you do what works, and not change, the reliability stays consistent. They might not have designed this around forestry mulching, but there's a few things that happen when you're mulching, and one is stuff just gets chucked behind you. The bottom of this machine is flat. I mean, it's got some access. It's like one piece of metal, but it's got these little access door to change the oil and to do other things. So when that stuff goes flying through the bottom and out the back, there's nothing that gets damaged. It's like an off-road skid plate. It's pretty neat. And then you undo a couple bolts to get to the oil pan, and then there's a couple other like plates that you can unscrew. So when we do kind of a thorough wash of the engine bay and under the cab, we'll take them bolts off and then take the plate out and then you can kind of blow everything or wash everything out of this area. Just makes it easier. So it's not like it's one solid piece of metal. So I like that about it. Now around the tracks, you have it's all like enclosed, not enclosed so much, but there's no cavities back in there, because again, it's chucking stuff behind me. There's a little pocket where the arms go up and down on these machines, but it is relatively enclosed, so stuff doesn't get like thrown into the engine bay or inside where the hydraulics or the important things are. So like I said, I don't know if they designed it specifically for forestry mulching, which I kind of doubt they did. But that is awfully handy, because you'll see some machines that don't need to take that into consideration. But they have these things that just get filled with wood and chips and leaves and sticks and trees and tree parts, you know what I mean? So it's like those kind of things are what you want to look for. I mean, I made it simple. I saw Brushworks and what they were doing and thought, this guy has experience. Kind of let this head spin up and fling out this. Goodness, come on now. Second time that's happened. I wonder what's the deal here, like what tree I'm running up on to make that. Anyway, so they had the experience and they had already run, I know they had Bobcat, and they had a new Bobcat, and they just had their experience. So I almost bought a Bobcat because I like them. But I just did a little research, and man, I just couldn't beat this machine, fully outfitted, was, let's see, with the mulching head, was less than just an outfitted Bobcat machine. So, you know, price does matter. But I will say, that's not the only thing. I mean, I wouldn't go drive 2 hours to buy a machine and you have like no service department, like within a 2 hour or 3 hour, you know. I'd want my service department like right next door. Like my guy, Diamond Equipment, they are 7 minutes from my house. I can pull the machine there in 7 minutes. Now, I talked to those service guys, you know, before I bought the machine, and kind of interviewed them a little bit. I wanted to know, you know, these guys know what they're doing. So you want a dealer that can support you. And if that was going to be Bobcat, then that's just what I would have bought. Because you just got to make sure their service department is competent. You know, go back and talk to the dudes. I go back there and talk to them, give them a hard time, you know, joke around with them. Like, go give them some donuts or something. Because, and clean your machine before you take it to them. Like, wash it. They don't like working on nasty machines. Anyway, so the big deal is like warranty. I wanted a warranty and I wanted service. The key point of the service was, okay, let's just state a given that the machine will break down, or I'll break it, or something will happen. And my first question was, where's the other high flow machine I can use while this one's getting fixed? And they said, yeah, they have a TL12 that they could, I guess, loan me, depending on, I don't know if I'd rent it or not. I think it would depend on if it's a warranty issue or not. So that's important. This job is rough on these machines, and I don't think I take it easy on these things either. I try to do this fast. And sometimes I kind of run into stuff. It just, we picked this thing up, I think it seemed like it wasn't half the price, but it was $100,000 less than a Caterpillar. So that wasn't hard for me to figure out. On top of the reliability, on top of our service department here, there was no other one I was going to mess with. I don't care how nice those guys were, at the other dealers. I didn't even think about John Deere. I've seen some guys using John Deere, and I heard a couple different things about them. Something about their air filter system was at the bottom, or that's where the intake is for maybe the engine. I don't know what it was. There was something, and that seemed odd that it would be in that location for any kind of usage of this machine. But I will say, there's a lot I liked about this, and someone would say, well, what don't you like about the talk? And maybe I would say it needs to be more horsepower or more gallons per minute, but I would just trade that off for reliability, because one day is several $1,000s like lost, on top of you paying for, you lost work and you're paying to fix it. Maybe it's warranty and you're not, and that's fine. So what was that? That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with the machines. I guess if you have any other questions, throw them in the comments. If you want to stay on top of our growth and our business, subscribe. I got some cool people on this channel, and you could be one too. So I'll probably title this what kind of machine would I get? And it's the one I'm in, the Takeuchi TL11. I mean, so far so good, right? We learn as we go. But that's the way it looks for now. So watching a little mulching, learning a little bit about the machines. Good day. All right, so here's a couple of things I was talking about, like the flatness of the bottom. Even though you can see there's those plates will even catch some of this stuff flying back through here. So any machine that's got like some moving parts down here is going to get hammered pretty good. And there's like one for the oil, one to clean out. I talked about that a little bit. These other pans way down there you can take out and clean out underneath the cab. And then back in here, yeah, I guess you can see that all that is like one piece, like this piece and this piece. So we get a bunch of muck back here, mud, or usually not, but all that's basically one piece. So anything goes flying back in here, it just comes down around out the bottom. Not that big a deal. I've heard people talk about these double pieces here, here and here, helps guide the tracks. You're twisting a lot in the woods, so you need these tracks to stay on as well as possible. What I don't like so much is this little pocket in here. It's kind of a dead end pocket. It's one on both sides. But it's easy to clean out. You just stick your hand down there and clean it out. I like that pocket there. But other than that, I haven't had any issues like cleaning, or I take it to the dealer to maintain it, at least for the normal services, but we can talk about that later. The head, you just have to keep this thing greased up. Again, this is the Takeuchi branded FAE. It's a pretty nice mulching head. Carbide. Very good, very hard. No sharpening required. And that's what I like about that. We got the cameras here on the back. That camera's, I've had to fix that several times. I've been jacking that thing up quite a bit. You gotta kind of keep the camera out of here if it bends, but I've been hitting it. I'm working on a bumper using these pieces here to screw, but it's easy to get into, maintain. There's your water separator. If that red thing floats, you got water, hydraulic, and then coolant. There's the hydro. And then you want to check your oil periodically and change this. I blow this out every time, but we're talking now maintenance, so that's gonna be on any machine. And it's pretty easy to trailer up. It's a lovely machine, I must say. For the price, for the strength, for the quality, for the reliability. There's a reason I chose this one, and there's a reason that other people do too.